Interfaith Voices. I'm proud to tell you we're now the leading religion news magazine on public radio. I hope you're all listening, and if you're in the Washington area, that's 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoons. You can even do that in the conference too tomorrow, or you can sign up outside to stay in touch with us or get our podcasts. Let me say that when Bill D'Antonio gave me a call asking me if I would moderate a panel on women in ministry, I couldn't imagine any topic that I would more love to be part of, because I've been with this movement just about, well, it feels like from the beginning. I don't think I can trace it back to the first centuries, but certainly the Women's Ordination Conference, the very first one in 1975, and on through those many years. And I think it is so exciting that this topic is addressed here because, of course, you know and I know women have been ministering in the church in multiple roles for eons, mostly without recognition, mostly without formal ordination, and certainly without any official authority. But you are incubating something new in your local religious communities, because you take women's ministerial roles and their priestly roles seriously. And most of you have, horror of horrors, allowed women to take leadership positions in your local communities. But I'm thinking even of, there's a great group here, the Community of the Holy Christian Spirit, the Community of Christian Spirit in Philadelphia. You want to raise your hands and stand up. They've been women-led from the beginning. All right? And so you're in the forefront, because what I want you to know, from where I sit, interviewing men and women on Interfaith Voices, it's very clear to me that women are emerging as leaders in the world of religion across the board, across virtually all faith traditions. It's like it or not, here we come. Let me give you just a couple of examples. We all know about Bishop Catherine Jefferts Schori, the presiding bishop, not just any old bishop, the presiding bishop of the Episcopal Church USA. Maybe you were pleased to see on television, I was pleased to be there in person, Reverend Sharon Watkins, who is the President and General Minister of the Christian Church Disciples, and was the first woman to preach at an inaugural prayer service for President Barack Obama. And may I say, she was terrific. There are women who are elected as women rabbis in both the Reform and conservative traditions, who are being elected as the heads of various Jewish denominational organizations. And in fact, the Orthodox Jews are talking about women rabbis these days. I mean, really. And you may or may not know this, there is a woman, Ingrid Mattson, who is the president of the Islamic Society of North America. All right? And that's important to know. There are women Quranic scholars, women Islamic feminists across the board who are challenging their tradition on the role of women. And in Buddhism and in Hinduism, women are rising up as gurus and teachers. When you talk to Sikhs and Baha'is, they will talk to you about the gender equality that they feel is endemic in their religious traditions. And I got to tell you, just the other day, I got an email from, of all places, Morocco, where 3 women are coming to the United States because they are assuming new roles in Islam in Morocco. It's a sort of an auxiliary position to an imam, but it would be what looks like to me as a kind of Islamic diaconate. Hey, that's a big step ahead of where we are. Because, in other words, what I'm trying to say is women are emerging as leaders across the board. And I didn't even mention the fields of theology and spirituality and the many other, and social justice, the many other ways in which women are entering in. So, we Catholics have a little problem. But there's lots of ferment, and it's producing great fruit. I know that I was just thrilled a couple weeks ago when I woke up and realized 2 of the women who are my good friends from the movement are now bishops in the Roman Catholic women priests movement. Andrea Johnson and Bridget Mary Meehan. Is Bridget here, by the way? Okay, all right, I just wanted to. And that, I think most of us would agree, is a truly exciting movement. So this is all by way of a preface to this great panel that you see before you. And again, I would refer you to the biographies in the back. I'm just going to briefly tell you what they're going to do. We're going to start with Francine Cardman. She teaches theology and ministry at Boston College, and she's going to do the history stuff. She's going to take a look back at the tradition and the history. This is the stuff that the hierarchy either never read or doesn't know about or forgot. Okay? So she's going to do that particular piece. I love the one piece in her biography where she wrote an essay called The Sisters of Thecla. From the New Testament, Knowledge, Power, and Change in the Church, and it's where she discusses the Roman Catholic women priest movement, Sisters of Thecla. And then secondly, we're going to have Paul Surlis, and he's going to do the theological stuff on the ordination of women. His paper is called The Ordination of Women, Divinely Prohibited or an Inevitable Development. And I'll give you one guess where he's going with that, okay? And in case your detective rogue, you're right, don't you know, he was born in Ireland, all right, was actually at the Second Vatican Council, but I love, in retirement in Crofton, Maryland, he's writing papers like The War in Iraq, Unjust, Illegal, and Immoral. Sounds pretty good, huh? All right? And then our third speaker is going to be Zini Fox, all right, and she's going to do the what's going on the ground stuff. And that is to say the ecclesial ministry of women as it's actually taking place in parishes and dioceses across the country. And her book, New Ecclesial Ministry, was really a groundbreaker in this field, and I'm told it's recently been updated. So we're going to have a great panel, and I'm hoping everybody keeps to his or her time limits. And so with that, welcome, if you would, Francine Cardman.